Hello, we're going to be talking about the ACT reading section and some helpful tips for our students. While we are trying to close the gaps, there are things that we can do, that we can look at, that we can track, that will also help our students be successful in a much shorter time. When the student is familiar with the exam, they are able to feel more confident. They're able to tackle the exam and feel like they actually have control of their score. And that control, they gain it by knowing what's going to be on the test, knowing exactly the passages they're going to be reading, and the skills that are going to be assessed. The first step is to identify weaknesses. The most important step is finding out whether the student struggles with reading comprehension or whether they're struggling to meet the demands of the time restriction. When we know that, we're better able to help the student. Next is having the students know which passages they do best on. The order of the passages are always the same, but that does not mean that the students have to tackle it in that same order. When the students know the passages they are strongest in, then they are able to select the passages that they work on. What you see here is a few scenarios of students that have done just that, and the scores that they have received based on their choice and their strategy. Next is identifying the gaps in their reading. The reading exam usually assesses 5 major skills. If we are able to know which ones we struggle with, then we can get better at the very skills that are harder to master. Just how we are aware of the skills, knowing the types of wrong answers that we will see is also helpful. Learning to eliminate 3 wrong answers is very helpful in getting the students to the right choice. It is important that the students also know the types of wrong answers that they're going to be seeing over and over again. Lastly, choosing a method and sticking to it. Students should be highly discouraged from switching methods the day of the exam. The students going into the test should already know which method works for them because they have practiced it, they have tracked it, and they know which one helps them go through the exam best. Students should also be encouraged to label their questions as now, later, and never. Once they know the questions that they are good at through their tracking, then on the day of the exam, they're able to focus on the questions they know they do best on. Overall, when the students walk into the exams, they should know exactly what they're going to do. They should know exactly what they're good at. They should know exactly where their weaknesses are. When they practice through tracking, they're able to find these patterns, they're able to reflect, and they're able to grow through their practices.